Boom.
What's good, everybody? There is no silly intro for today's video because I don't think it's appropriate. This is for my friend Joe Lister, who died 20 years ago today, which is absolutely insane thing to say. It feels like a lifetime ago that it happened, but it also feels like yesterday. I can honestly say I think about Joe. I do a live diet on a Thursday night, and we got talking about it basically towards the end of the live. And I've been umming and ahhing all day whether or not I wanted to do this video, and then I've tried to do it about 5 times, truth be told, and I keep restarting but ultimately this is going to be my last go. It's got, I don't know what to say. I was going to dwell over what had happened to him and stuff. But ultimately, I don't want to at this point. I think about him every day, genuinely. And then sometimes strange things will happen to me where I'm thinking about him, but it's so often that it's not even, I know people say this a lot when they lose people and that, but I don't even really realize. And then it'll dawn on me like 2 days later or whatever. It's just become such a part of my mind. But obviously it's coming up to 20 years. And this past couple of months, it's slapped me up well bad, to be honest. I've been it was just so tragic, and he was such a good lad, and as I say, it's such a long time ago, it's hard to even sort of like remember stuff. So I'm hoping, basically we're doing a charity match tomorrow for him, and all the boys are meeting back up, and it'll be packed out. Kickoff's at 1 p.m. We're playing up at Tadcaster Grammar School, which is the school we all went to, and we were genuinely, I'm hoping, because we're playing against his brother's team, so it's called Ben, and we're playing against his team, and I'm hoping that we've all still got something in locker, because I know everybody says it, but we were genuinely decent when we were kids, and I know the boys will back me up, because I'm also saying that they were decent as well. But we genuinely had a bit of talent as a team. I remember, the school teachers used to do like a year 11 versus the teachers, and they weren't players and stuff, so we was genuine ballers, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't want to dwell too much about what happened to him, but basically he passed away on a school trip. It was the first day. We travelled down to Bewley Park. There were obviously probably 100 of us or something that went. 11 people went down a cave. Joe was one of them 11, and then it flooded, and he didn't come out the other side, basically. I had loads of details, loads of stories to sort of tell on the trip, but I don't think I want to, really. So I just want to, I've got this thing where I did a track for him, as I say, 10 years ago when I wanted to be a rapper. And I used to do, and I still do that. Every time I perform, I still do that song first. And I feel like he's with me, because sometimes you can go to pretty hostile environment. So I'm playing in a rock bar somewhere, and I just know nobody likes me, or I'm in London and I know nobody likes me, and I think, well, if I start with this song, the boys with me, so I couldn't care less. It's just like, and if you're not listening to me now, then I don't care about you. Do you know what I mean? Joe's there with me. So 10 years on from that, we're now on 20 years, I wanted to do another track, and I've tried for a couple of months. Well, I've tried for 6 months, and I just can't, the words ain't coming. I just don't think I want to. It's too, I don't know. I don't want to dwell. I don't like talking too much, to be honest. So, and I don't want to talk about mental health, but I do actually think, if you don't want to talk, you shouldn't have to talk. And, to go over the peep show joke, why is it always the people that want to talk win? Because then you have to talk, don't you? I'd rather just be sort of left to my own devices. And this is not me reaching out to anybody, by the way. But yeah, we're all meeting tomorrow for a good old kickabout and try to raise some money. That's obviously a little Joe there. It's a little jokes, obviously, he was a teenager. It's a madness, and this is us. We always had a cup in his hand. We've got 4 cups there, so they're the boys. This was the squadron. I'm directly left to the keeper, Lewis Graham, who was a monster when we were kids. I was terrified of him, but he was one hell of a keeper, genuinely, and he had the biggest strike on him I've ever seen in my whole life. And Joe is 2 to the right of the keeper on the top. I know they said top shelf there, but he's a top shelf fella. But yeah, 2 to the right of the keeper. And then, don't need to name everybody that's in the photo, but we were genuinely a good side. And then this one, I believe, I believe, but I'm not 100% certain. But I think this is when we went away. We went on tour, as it were. We went to Spain, and I nearly wasn't allowed to go on that because I got sent off about a year prior, and they banned me at school for absolute donks. So I think I just managed to squeeze my way onto the actual tour. But we were playing against, because we went to Spain and France, I think, and we were only like, must have been like 12. And we were playing against like genuinely like 18-year-old fellas, and they were, you know, when you're 12, they're like blokes, aren't they? An 18-year-old. I mean, when I look back at myself as an 18-year-old, I mean, to be fair, I don't even think I'm a bloke now. I don't have much about me, but when I was 18, I didn't like these boys. These boys were big boys. Honestly, we're intimidating, but well, it wasn't intimidating. We still give it as good as we got, but I don't think we won a game. This is 10 years ago. That must be the end of the game. All the boyos. I'm hoping. I mean, it'll be packed out tomorrow. We're playing up at Tag Grammar School, and then we're off back to Tadcaster Magnets to like raise some money. And we've had a couple of shout outs from a couple of celebrities, so I'm just going to share that.
Little message in shout out to everyone involved in the charity game at the weekend up in Yorkshire for in memory of Joe Lister. I think it's around 20 years, isn't it, since he tragically passed away. Funds being raised for, just reading there, actually, the Upper Wharf for Dale Fell Rescue Association, I think it is, who were at the scene 20 years ago when obviously the tragedy happened. So hopefully, everything goes well. Get down there, try and raise as much money as possible. I just want to send this little message to say a big well done to everybody involved, and let you all know that I'm thinking of you at the weekend. All the best. Hope it goes well.
So that's your boy. That's Carragher, who Carragher's Carragher in here, and then we've got the real man about town here. If it lets me load it. There he is. Big Keegan. Get up, Keegan.
Yeah, Kevin Keegan here. I want to wish you good luck in raising money for Joe Lister. Hope you raise a lot of money for a very good cause. Well done. Yeah, Kevin Keegan here. I want to wish you good luck in raising money.
That one's absolutely legendary to me. I had to log into Facebook to get these photos as well. I must add, I haven't been on Facebook for about 15 years, so it's not my zone. But we used to play footy, obviously relentlessly together. We played at I think we played at county level together. We played at Tad Albion together. Played at school level together. I think Joel played for York Schoolboys with us. We were genuinely. Joe was a good player. We were all good prospects. It was, But when he did fall away. So when if any dinner times when he wasn't playing footy with us, and we were like, "Where's Joe?" Well, it's taken me to go. I mean, I always had this inkling anyway, but it was always surrounded by chicks. So that's Joe in the top left there. We all had a big mop head as well. We used to get called the mop heads. So there's actually a couple of lads in there that have both got mop heads, but I also had a mop head. So we used to go to games and we'd all get called the mop heads and stuff. But I just think we were ahead of our trend. Everybody else did it about 2 years later, and we were like, no, get the long hairs. I think Italians will have been decent at the time. We're all trying to replicate them. And then if you thought it was a coincidence or a one-off, it's not, because there he is again, surrounded by a load of chicks. So I think by anybody's stretch of the imagination, I think the type of lad we had on his hands. But yeah, I just wanted to do a video for him. As I say, I would like to keep his name moving for some, well, not for some reason, because obviously he's still with me, but I just mean I like to say his name to people, to be honest, and say that I knew him and we were good friends. There's a photo of us actually playing together that I can't find, and I'm hoping there's loads of photos and that flying around tomorrow, because I would actually like a photo of him in house, to be honest. But obviously not being daft at the time when we were kids, throwback. We're all old now, but camera phones, it looked like you'd taken a photo with your back of your hand or something. So it wasn't the best quality photos and that, but. So hopefully I can just get something blown up and put it on a canvas, get it in my room or something. But yeah, and all his family will be there tomorrow. So Ben, his brother, Laura, his sister, and then they're now little families, and Martin, his dad, and Paula, his mum. So it'll be a mint day, hopefully. Well, I can't see it. It's not going to be not going to be a good day, but yeah, it's me signing out. Joe Lister, 14th of November 2005. Bloke's a legend.
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you and I'll do me. That's just the way it is.
Boom.